Yeah. No. Yeah. Scroll feeds, my thumb got a 6-pack. Every headline screaming it's a red flag. True win goes, left a fake mustache. Click the link, plot twist, it's a cat splash. Filters on filters, pixels in disguise. Everyone's a model with the rented sunrise. Said at the end is near, but it's been 5 years. Laugh through the tears, sip true flavor beers. Everything is fake, but thanks for watching. Stream the illusion, keep the brain washing. Laugh till we cry, the whole thing's botching. Everything is fake, but thanks for watching. Everything is fake, but thanks for watching. Stream the illusion, keep the brain washing. Laugh till we cry, the whole thing's botching. Everything is fake, but thanks for watching. I wrote the news, deepfakes on the cam. Photoshop your face, swap your Uncle Sam. They said the sky's falling, but it's really spam. Conspiracies in bulk like a Costco ham. Every meme a sermon, every tweet's a trap. Got my facts in a bag with a gift wrap app. Trust issues big, my browser got a rash. Incognito mode when I'm counting cash. Everything is fake, but thanks for watching. Stream the illusion, keep the brain washing. Laugh till we cry, the whole thing's botching. Everything is fake, but thanks for watching. Everything is fake, but thanks for watching. Stream the illusion, keep the brain washing. Laugh till we cry, the whole thing's botching. Everything is fake, but thanks for watching. Yeah, voila, yeah. But thanks for watching. Voila, yeah. Internet jungle swinging from the lies, dodging all the clickbait, swatting at the flies. Internet jungle swinging from the lies, dodging all the clickbait, swatting at the flies. Yeah. Swatting at the flies.
Step in the ring, the lights get dim. Crowd flexes soft like a featherless limb. Dave Smith stands sharp edge, no trim. Tongue like a guillotine, blade stays grim. Crowder's quip shaky, rattling hollow. Dave drops bars that the truth gotta follow. Lines hit harder than a hammer on bone. Steven sweat drips, fears grown full blow. Mic drops, flying lock, minds collide. No escape hatch, no place to hide. Mental wrestlers in the ring, no rest. Dave throws words, Steven's out of breath. Crowder troubles, can't take the sting. That's all they say, truth's a slippery thing. Truth's a slippery thing. Crowder's eyes dark, looking for a door. Davis wit quick, sharper than a lion's roar. Jab, jab, hook with a verbal encore. Crowder's left stuttering, knees hit the floor. Dave's arguments cut like diamond tip steel. David's facade cracks can't conceal the ordeal. Out of your towel and they're calling for more. Steven folds up like a chair at the store. Mic drops, spine lock, minds collide. No escape hatch, no place to hide. Mental wrestles in the ring, no rest. Dave throws words, Steven's out of breath. Crowder crumbles, can't take the sting. Or so they say, truth's a slippery thing. Truth's a slippery thing.
This is a Dissident Media production. DissidentMedia.net.
In a world where everything sucks, two men have the balls to laugh at it. This is The System is Down.
Oh shit, did you guys see that? Steven Crowder got bashed the fuck out by Dave Smith, and we're gonna talk about that big, explosive debate and so much more in just a second. Let's go.
You ain't in it.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to The System is Down, your place for uncomfortably based takes and stupid dick jokes for liberty. Today's episode is brought to you by people like Aaron, Michael, James, William, Surtur, Nathan, Keenover, Gilda, Kate, John Windshower, Bob C for Drugs for Robots, Autumn, Sean, CD, Zachary, Trashman, Abrogate, D's, Maxwell, Steve, Noah, JC, Justico, Silas, Denise, Joey Perry, Adam, Donald, Matt, Ozmataz, Sean, Luke, Stoney, Hefflumps, Level Zero, Rick Duran, Ryan, Tim, Mary, Brian, John, and many, many more. If you want to get your name on that list and have it read incorrectly someday, go on over to patreon.com/The System is Down, where you'll get more weird, more raw, more offensive, more sometimes weekly content. Not this week, because it's Halloween week, and we've got Halloween festivities and celebrations, and mostly just like adult stuff, like taxes and boring shit to do. But if you like what you see here and you want to see more or hear more, go on over to patreon.com/The System is Down and sign up for the Downers Club, and I will appreciate you forever or until you cancel your subscription, and then I'll hate you for the rest of your life. Now, today we're talking about a whole lot of news, not just this explosive, massive, amazing debate. So much more is going on. So many very important things, so many reruns and reboots and all sorts of things, but I can't do it alone, so I gotta bring in the one, the only, the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. David Casey with the confetti on the fly. Dave, how's it going, Dave? It's been a week.
Confetti ready. It has been, dude. Absolute total destruction from that dude, Dave Smith. Once again, collecting
Smashed.
scout.
Crushed.
Just absolute.
Abolished. Just
over,
raped. Murdered. I don't know how good this is for our YouTube algorithm. I mean, we start out with the very sensational headline. Nope, that's the wrong thing. Not going for that one. We start out with the very sensationalist headline to get all the clicks, but then we immediately come in and say all the naughty words that get us probably knocked down in the algorithm. So, fuck it, whatever. We're going to talk about this debate, but there is more other things to talk about. It was fun, and I probably should keep the hype going until we get to the things so people don't click out, but it was fun. And it was not only fun, but I'm pretty sure that Steven Crowder started bleeding from the nose because he was so upset and distraught in the corner. He was just curled up in a ball, fetal position, weeping like a child. So stick around. We'll talk about that in just a bit. But what's new in your neck of the woods, Dave? Anything going on this Halloween season? Anything?
Oh, man, they just canceled the old Halloween parade around here because we're expecting a storm, maybe getting a little bit of that Jamaican good, that crazy winds up here. So I don't know. Halloween's canceled.
That's a bummer. That's a bummer for y'all.
Yep.
It's a bummer, more big bummer for, I don't know if they celebrate Halloween in Jamaica, but big bummer for them. What's been going on with that? I've seen that there's terrible hurricane, tornadic weather, and all sorts of crazy shit going on, but I haven't dug too deeply into it, Dave. Do you know any more than I do?
No, but I saw my boss showed a picture of like from outer space what it looks like, and it's fucking insane.
Yeah.
So no, I don't know much, and I don't know. I should, but no, I don't know how much it's damage and destruction it's caused already, and what they're like expecting. Or no, I don't know much about that. But
now, if you stir up that much pot smoke, do the neighboring countries get affected by the contact high?
You get that exactly that contact storm shit, the residuals,
the good stuff. Speaking of the good stuff, there's been a couple large debates going around the internet this last week, Dave. The most important one we're actually going to start with. We're not going to bury this lead. We're going to start with the biggest debate of the week, and that is the Nog Debate. Because the Nog Debate it's that season again, it's that time of year when some people come out of the woodwork to say that Nog is delicious, and all the retards disagree with them. Now, this very based company, Firearms Policy Coalition, seems to have taken a side. Lots of people are taking sides on the internet, I've noticed, but Firearms Policy Coalition said, after much internal dialogue, man, we are declaring allegiance to the Eggnog Legion. Now, I don't know any of these guys personally, but they do seem to have pretty based firearms takes, and it's nice to see some based guys also joining the Nogolution that I've been, I feel like, spearheading my entire life. Dave, any thoughts on this?
Okay. Yeah, I'm excited about this too. Typically, I'm not for getting the holidays started this early, but candy corn fucking sucks. So just, you don't got to talk about that. So does pumpkin spice and all that bullshit. So, yeah, I'd say bring that on. And I did not know that you were such a nog guy.
I want you to go to YouTube and at some point and type in Smotz the Nog. I literally have a song about eggnog, but it's more about being angry at Christmas because I was much more angry back in those days. And listening to it now, it's pretty funny. It's pretty funny. The juvenile rage that I had at Christmas in my younger, much more depressed years. But I digress. The Nog is amazing, and so Dave, you're a Nogger yourself.
I don't think I would put myself in a class with you if you're talking about your love for the Nog.
Yeah.
Because I probably would go hot chocolate first. I would spike a coffee first. There would be things that I would have, holiday beverages I would have before Nog. But no, I can get down with I don't know about from October through December, freaking Nog like that. I usually,
So you're a lukewarm Nogger, eh? You're going to be cast out. Like you're just a fence sitter on the Nog.
I like nutmeg. I like Captain Morgan. I heard different recipes. I think I heard George Washington has his own Nog recipe that you can get online.
Sure.
So that's pretty neat. The father of the country. I guess that's you're in pretty good.
This country was
company.
founded on Nog, Dave. And I'll be honest. In my adult years, I liked Nog a lot more before I, started drinking beer and whatnot. Now, when the Christmas season comes, I'm like, well, I can mix something with eggnog and drink like a pound of cream, or I could just have a beer and call it a day. But I do love the Nog, and if calories were no factor here, I would go for a nice spiked Nog.
When will you have your first Nog?
I almost bought a carton last week, actually, but I have not yet. Perhaps I will break that seal on the show the first time of the year. But yeah, we got to talk about other things. I know the Nog is obviously the most important, but Katy Perry was seen with Justin Trudeau this last week. From Fox News, Katy Perry and Justin Trudeau make first public debut as a couple amid budding romance. So I don't know if you remember in the Book of Revelation where this was predicted, but I'm pretty sure it's in there somewhere. Where
I had to look pretty close, but
the Whore of Babylon and the Fairy of Canada, they merge for an unholy union. This is, I don't know, this is just, it's weird that we live in a time where the president of Canada is probably going to end up having a first lady, Katy Perry, and Donald Trump is in our White House right now, and Kanye West is gunning for both of them probably. What are your thoughts on Katy Perry shacking up with Fidel Castro's son?
Right, yeah, I was under the impression that he was a gay communist puppet. And that she was
still
a corporatist astronaut op. But now I don't. because they got hooked up together and are holding hands in public scenarios. So yeah, good for them.
So you're saying it's more or less nefarious now? Like is it all orchestrated and they were put together?
Of course, bro. Of course.
Okay. It sounded like you were going the other way with it, and I'm like, okay.
No. I was trying to just be a little bit cheeky there. No, sure. Of course, this is totally suspect. More suspect than Michael Jackson and Elvis Presley's daughter.
Yeah.
This is just
Nicole
totally
Kidman
weird.
and Tom Cruise.
There you go. At least wait, they didn't have a kid. He had a kid with the other. The other chick. But all those are sus as well. So yeah. Some shit goes on in Hollywood, man. I don't know what
in Hollywood.
They do some arranged shit.
How long does Justin Trudeau? I guess no, he's not the prime minister anymore, is he? Because he stepped down. I haven't paid. This is how much I give a shit about Canada. I don't even know. I forgot that they got
Okay,
a
next
new
you're
guy.
gonna write. You're gonna
He's
read a
still the
book.
same
You're
guy.
gonna you're gonna write a book. You're gonna hook up with Katy Perry, and then we're gonna get your image rehab. You're gonna
Netflix
come
deal.
back. Yeah, Netflix deal. That's how you do it, man.
Trucking
Probably
with
get-
Trudeau is what it's gonna be called. It's gonna be awesome.
Yep. You'll
He's
be
gonna-
banging Barack Obama and the.
He's gonna get his
Prime
CDL
Minister.
license to make up for all the
Yeah.
all that stuff. Just a reality TV show. Speaking of reality TV shows, Barack Obama, famous reality TV star Barack Obama, is back in the news because Barack Obama is setting up his presidential center. And here is the very forward-thinking, very diverse, very, some might say, urban presidential center that Barack Obama is setting up. See if you can spot the winks and nods to urban culture that Barack Obama is giving to remind all of his urban brothers that he is still a brother. Building a presidential center unlike any other. Libraries, museums, sports centers, gardens, music. Looks like I don't know if that's the lettering for the side, but it's all moderny, almost it's artsy, like urban-ish feeling. Wow. Built by the community, for the community. Trying super hard to make this look awesome. But that's what it looks like. That's what it looks like, and it's supposedly coming out next year. Not that this, I mean, it almost looks like a fucking cathedral, like a futuristic apocalypse cathedral bomb shelter type dealio. But the way this ad plays it up is like, this is a urban youth center that's going to have music and sports and video games and whatnot. And they even said built for us, by us, basically. It's the FUBU Center is what they're going for. Very hip, very trendy, but for some reason I don't know. The image to me doesn't even match that description. But I don't know. You got any take on this, Dave? Is this necessary?
Necessary? Definitely not. And yeah, what an endeavor for. I'd like to know where all the money's coming from. I thought that he was getting into the misinformation game. I thought that that's what the Obama Foundation was working on. This is what his
Netflix deal.
Right. Yeah, I guess you got to do so. This looks like a huge expenditure for one. And but I don't know. I have this theory that like all these kind of we were talking about the big beautiful ballroom that Trump is building. Like, you should be. I don't know. If I was these guys, I'm probably building like fortresses or like some kind of command center that like can be utilized. Like, oh yeah, we'll call it this, whatever you want, and you can kind of like let people, like host weddings there or whatever,
right? Have
parties and functions, but like the guts of this thing will be like a command
trafficking
center.
Children. I mean, command center.
Exactly. The Obama children.
There's no basement. What are you talking about? That ballroom doesn't have a basement. Also, we're going to talk about the Epstein Ballroom in a little bit also, but before that, speaking of urban, we got to check in, and speaking of Jamaica, we got to check in with everyone's favorite gal pal, Kamala Harris, because she's back, and she made a stop at, I think, her alma mater, Howard University, and here's how that went.
So proud of us. You know how privileged I feel to have been educated at Howard University. There is so much about everything I have achieved, and I've been the first to do many things because of being here when I was your age, knowing that everything that I'm being told and can feel tells us we can be and do anything, that we expect you to be leaders locally, statewide, nationally, and internationally. And especially at this period in time, I want that you all know our country and our world needs you all. We need you. So you be strong, you feed these big brains of yours. You make friends who are going to be, by the way, friends of yours for life. And enjoy this. And know how special you are and how much we need you. That's what I want for you. That's what I need from you. All right?
All right. Question. I still don't know. Is Kamala Harris just drunk all the time? If she is just drunk all the time, then how has she not figured out how to handle her alcohol in public by now? And if she's not just drunk all the time and she's just that retarded, how has she made it to this point in life? Or like how did she make it to the point of, I don't know, being able to feed herself or take care of a family in any sort of way, or like pay her mortgage? How did she get anywhere in life if she is not drunk and is just as retarded as she always comes off or presents herself as?
Well, anything I say, I'm sure you already know, but she got all of the greatest achievements in her life by being corrupt and proving that you will be corrupt. That's why she got to be the attorney general, and all the way up. And yeah, she's terrible. But it's not just the booze though; it's the benzos. When you mix the benzos with the booze, that kind of creates this just kind of, doesn't take much to like leave you kind of a little foggy there.
Yeah.
And man, she's just kind of, I think she's confident though in her ability to do that, because we've just seen so much of it. And I don't know, those people clapped loud. Like, I want to say like, yeah, she's terrible and it's obvious that she's a mess, but like she probably is still the front runner. Like if you were to, I don't know, that's probably
we've got
accurate.
people calling for a Kamala Harris AOC ticket, to which I say, please, Jesus, please keep them down this stupid. And we'll have plenty of complaints about Donald Trump today, but I still prefer for the Democrats to keep running very stupid people against slightly less stupid people in the Republican Party. But we'll get to the Republicans also. In fact, we'll get to them very soon, because we got to talk about this ballroom again. This is the update from, we brought it up last week, the ballroom, this ballroom that seems to be, it looks like, according to the charts, that it's going to be like twice the size of the White House, like dwarfing the White House down to this tiny little thing. It's going to be, some people are saying it's going to be an eyesore. Some people are hysterically freaking out. The left is saying that it's the people's house, that it's being destroyed, and then the right-wingers are saying it's the God's gift to humanity. And I'm just here to say, whoever came up with the idea for calling this the Epstein Ballroom, yes, that's a good call. That's a real good call. Have you seen this on Twitter? People are calling it the Epstein Ballroom. I like that, because most likely there's trafficking going on in and out and underneath this thing one way or another, no matter who you want to point a finger at, be them Democrat or Republican. And there were some people saying that we should call it the Epstein Ballroom. Yes, those people were Democrats, but those Democrats were correct for a second. They'll be wrong in just a second, but when they came up with that branding and that little troll tactic, good on you. Now, we got to talk about Liz Warren's take on the Epstein Ballroom here. Here's her hysteria.
No, it is actually a demolition zone. That is what it is. Look at that.
Look at these two vicious iron boxes right here.
And this is posted by Liz Warren saying Donald Trump doesn't want you to see this video. So this is like her smoking gun is her and Amy Klobuchar in their pantsuits sitting on an old sofa in their their parlor, watching on their boomer rectangle.
Can't hear people asking for help because there's all the
machinery. I mean, these are like bulldozers taking down the people's house right in front of our eyes.
Leveling the people's house so that he can build a gold-encrusted ballroom.
And you think, how much does this cost? And he said $200 million, right?
Yeah.
A few weeks ago. Now he's saying $300 million.
Yeah.
$300 million. and an unbelievable amount of money just for this vanity project of his with this golden ballroom.
Yeah, and meanwhile, what's happening on groceries, on utilities? The costs just keep going up and up and up.
Well, kind of like the ballroom. So,
Yeah.
you know, that went from 200 to 300 million, but what?
All right, who gives a shit? Stop making me like Donald Trump's stupid ideas by being Democrats about it all the time. Like, it's just Amy Klobuchar and Liz Warren. How do they still have any relevance at all? How do they still come out and post things on the internet and not just get completely shouted down at every turn? Because they make me want to like the Epstein Ballroom. I don't. I think it's stupid. I think it's a waste of money, and it's just so that the elitists in the Hunger Games can have their elitist parties in a more grand and glorious manner. It's stupid, and it's at best stupid. It's probably going to traffic children, if we're being honest. But then you got Amy Klobuchar and Liz Warren who are like, it's where the people's house, and where. It's like, oh, God, just bring on the Epstein Ballroom if I have to listen to these insufferable pigeons clucking for another 4 years. But what do you think, Dave? Is that the video that's going to take down Donald Trump? The video that Donald Trump doesn't want you to see?
Bro, that's the video that will make me help pick chandeliers because I just detest those women and all the women in the Senate like them.
Yep.
They're just so terrible. So yeah, it makes me, I mean, those two bitches were for every single wasted dollar that Doge found in the USAID scam. You know what I mean? All of it. Oh, let's send this to Jabip to make sure that transsexuals have access to, Brita filters. Like, fuck you. They were for all that. No. So it makes me want to help them build the big, beautiful ballroom. I did not know that it was that big of a project. So now it just reinforces my, he's setting up Trump sent command. I need a big it's not going to be a ballroom. I think it's going to be a big, ugly fucking missile defense system like Obama's building over there with his library
all
money.
The tables slide to the side, and the floor
dude.
opens up, missile launcher comes out.
Yeah, he's building the fucking Justice Castle.
Pretty much. As I mentioned, many people said that it should be called the Epstein Ballroom, and I think that.
Oh my God.
I think that Democrats are overreacting to hurting a sacred wall, and which is usually what the Republicans do. But Republicans are upset because, Republicans are just glorifying it and praising it and saying it's great and it's a great look for us. And I think that no matter what side you land on, we should all come together and agree that calling it the Epstein Ballroom from now on, just no matter when it comes up or where. I don't even know if it has a name yet. It's probably going to be called like the Trump Ballroom or something like that, but it should be called the Epstein Ballroom because that is Trump's greatest accomplishment, is being able to convince us all that the Epstein files don't exist. It is his greatest accomplishment as president so far. And by great, I mean impressive. Impressively evil. But that is the Epstein Ballroom, and it is coincidentally larger than the White House. So, yeah. Good symbolism there. Now, and so you don't think I'm just a evil Democrat. We're gonna talk about Democrats and Republicans. This one is actually a Republican. There were several people who commented on this, Republicans that didn't like that I posted this Epstein Ballroom thing. And here's one. Becky Berry said, "Who showed off boobies in the White House lawn? Who had nasty butt sex in the Capitol and made a video so everyone could watch? You are almost as smart as the dementia patient you voted for. But not quite. Facts matter. Try finding them." To which I said, those were Democrats. Yes, I voted for Donald Trump. I am just tired of him being retarded. Nice try, Boomer Becky. This other Republican oh, shit. Nope, that's not the right thing. It's here. This is one of the most impressive takes that I've seen. Why do Democrats want to honor the most evil trafficker of all time, Jeffrey Epstein, by naming the White House ballroom after him? Because Democrats are the party of traffickers and pedophiles. So they heard Democrats say, hey, this should be called the Epstein Ballroom because Donald Trump made it, and we don't like this ballroom, and we don't like Donald Trump, and Donald Trump is hiding Jeffrey Epstein files right now. And Republicans clap back to that with, oh, you guys must love Epstein. Okay, good one, boomers. Yes. To which I said, nice try, boomer. Trump is currently running cover for pedos, and Democrats would be if they were in the White House too. To which El Travisio said, you literally want to name a ballroom after the worst trafficker of minors of all time. You should be ashamed of yourself and locked in prison with all the other pedos. So because I said that it should be called the Epstein Ballroom.
That is so awesome.
Just the mind fuck of these people. Like,
that was an unintentional troll. You unintentionally trolled that guy.
I guess. Like, I don't know what this person thinks my take is, or I mean, they just automatically assume, oh, this guy's a Democrat because he's saying this thing that the Democrats are saying. It's like, motherfucker, I'm just saying your guy is running cover for Jeffrey Epstein, and we're currently all screaming about some big stupid ballroom that we're wasting money on. How about we just merge the two together and we just give it a branding PR project?
But that was all lost on that guy.
Yes.
And that's the beautiful thing.
Yes.
All of that. Why would you do that? I don't understand. Why would you name it that? He was a sex trafficker.
Well, I'm not sure if it is that. I don't know if that guy is that stupid or if he's like trying to spin it because he sees what's happening and he's trying the reverse card, like, oh, you must love Jeffrey Epstein if you want to name it after Jeffrey Epstein. It's like, oh, well, your guy must love Epstein if he's gonna, run cover for Jeffrey Epstein. These aren't the same thing.
This is how you know, though, that capital T they won, because this is where the conversation is at. So we're just gonna keep doing this stuff like on a large scale.
Yeah.
And Epstein will be on an island.
And then we got the Democrats being just as stupid, coming out with things like, I can't fucking wait until the Democrat president tears down the $300 million pile of gold-covered rubble. So, it's a waste of money, and it's stupid, and it shouldn't be there. But as soon as he gets it put up there and finished within the next 3 years, as soon as Gavin Newsom comes in, I hope he just demolishes it into a pile of rubble, because that will stop former President Donald Trump from having wasted our money if we destroy the thing that he spent our money on. Democrats.
All of these people are going to enjoy the shit out of that ballroom. And wait till you see the Qatari jet that comes up from the floor from nowhere through the ceiling. It will take you wherever you want to go. The Democrats will love it too.
Wait till you see the tunnels, the biggest, most beautiful tunnels. You don't even have to crawl in these ones anymore. You can just drive trucks straight through them.
The most they'll do is rename it. If he calls it the Trump Ballroom, they'll name it the fucking, Jesse Smollett.
The Ballroom of Mexico.
Okay, we can't give you that back, but we're going to give you the ballroom. Okay, Mexico?
That's right. Now, speaking of stupid people, let's talk about Donald Trump for a second. And this isn't just a direct insult. This is that. Did you hear about the IQ test, Dave? I didn't want to believe that this was true, but it might be true. Did you hear about Donald Trump's bragging about his IQ test?
No.
Okay. So rumor has it that Donald Trump was bragging about his IQ test that he took when he got his physical recently. And then the test that he's describing arrogantly, because he's saying, Jasmine Crockett and AOC are stupid. I took this IQ test and I'm a big brain smarty pants. And it sounds like, and I have done some fact checking, it sounds like the test that he is actually describing that he thought was an IQ test was a mental cognizance test. Some might say a test for dementia or slipping a little bit. And he decided to walk out in public and when asked about his mental state, bragged about his dementia test, calling it an IQ test. I'm not joking. This is not AI. This is what happened.
A great group of people would Democrats, they don't. They have Jasmine Crockett, a low IQ person. They have AOC's low IQ. You give her an IQ test, have her pass like the exams that I decided to take when I was at Walter Reed. Those are very hard, they're really aptitude tests, I guess, in a certain way, but they're cognitive tests.
In a certain way.
Let AOC go against Trump. Let Jasmine go against Trump. I don't think Jasmine, the first couple of questions are easy. A tiger, an elephant, a giraffe, you know. When you get up to 5 or 6, and then when you get up to 10 and 20 and 25, they couldn't come close to answering any of those questions.
Please read out from Walter Reed.
He even said mental cognizance test, which he thought was an IQ test, and he bragged about it. Now, lest he question the reporting here, this is one that I saw a lot of people sharing, and I've seen a lot of people sharing things about Trump that seem to be a bit over the top, and then you look into them, it's like, oh, that's a whatever, exaggeration of the truth. So I went to Grok and asked Grok, in this clip, is President Trump describing an actual IQ test, or does it sound more like he's describing a test for dementia? To which Grok said, President Trump is describing the Montreal Cognitive Assessment, a test typically used to screen for early signs of dementia, not an IQ test. The MOCA includes tasks such as drawing a clock, identifying animals like a tiger, elephant, and giraffe, and repeating a string of words which Trump mistakenly refers to as part of an IQ test. Medical experts including... I need to blow this up. I can't see it. Medical experts, including Dr. something, the creator of the MOCA, have clarified that the test is not correlated with IQ and is designed to detect cognitive impairment, not measure intelligence. So the guy who literally made the test came out and commented and said this is not an IQ test that Donald Trump is bragging about, that he crushed, and AOC couldn't possibly handle the dementia test and crush the dementia test as well as Donald Trump did. I wish it were fake, but it's not. And here's, I think this is, no, that's not real. There's, somebody posted, I've seen a few people post, the typical test that Donald Trump is talking about, where it has the pictures of animals, and then it gets slightly harder as it goes down, just trying to figure out where your brain stops working. That's the test that Donald Trump is bragging about, being so much smarter than AOC and Jasmine Crockett. Now, in his defense, he is smarter than AOC and Jasmine Crockett, but what a bad time for a gaffe. What a bad time to brag about how big-brained you are. And then Donald Trump just is so full of himself that he's like, oh, I took a Smartsy test recently. That must have been what IQ is about. Yeah, I crushed that thing. Let's see AOC pick out a tiger and a giraffe both in the same test, you dumb bitch. Dave, any thoughts?
Only that this will have no effect on Donald Trump whatsoever.
It's true.
That's kind of crazy.
Doesn't matter what you show him.
No, I mean, we've seen so much. So this just will bounce right off Teflon Don. Mm-hmm. But that is pretty crazy. I imagine even like if most of his base was shown that video, I don't think that they would care. Or be like, yeah, you know what he was talking about.
Oh, yeah, he's funny. He's funny. He tells jokes. Funny guy.
He talked about IQ plus that. He went to this. No, you know what he meant. Like that wouldn't bother anybody. So that's pretty cool for Trump. He's got a lot going for him that way.
I could stand on the corner of Fifth Avenue and fail an IQ test, and my base, I would lose one single vote.
There it is. That's that's the truth.
It's true. And they will keep, I mean, in fairness, Joe Biden was dumber, obviously more in a mental decline than Donald Trump is now. So the back and forth, perfectly justified. Biden was basically a corpse. Donald Trump is getting up there in age as well. And he's not, this is not the best evidence that Donald Trump is doing great in the IQ or cognitive abilities if he's bringing this up as a dunk on stupid Democrats. Now, I do want to, this has been circulating as well. Steve Bannon had some remarks on Donald Trump. He thinks that Donald Trump is not only, I mean, I don't think he said anything about his mental cognizance here, but he does want Donald Trump and as much Donald Trump as he can possibly get. In fact, he wants 4 more years of Donald Trump, and he is not joking.
He's going to get a third term. So Trump 28, Trump is going to be president in 28, and people just ought to get accommodated with that.
So what about the 22nd Amendment?
There's many different alternatives. At the appropriate time, we'll lay out what the plan is, but there's a plan. We had longer odds in 16 and longer odds in 24 than we got in 28. And President Trump will be the president of the United States, and the country needs him to be president of the United States. We have to finish what we started. Trump is a vehicle. I know this will drive you guys crazy, but he's a vehicle of divine providence. He's an instrument. He's very imperfect. He's not churchy, not particularly religious, but he's an instrument of divine will, and you can tell this of how he's pulled this off. We need him for at least 1 more term, right? And he'll get that in 28.
You're not driving me crazy. I'm really I'm trying to understand the coherence of the things you've just told me. On the one hand, you've said the Constitution is fit for purpose. Secondly, you've said that President Trump needs another term, even though the 22nd Amendment makes pretty clear that he cannot have another term.
Why does it make that clear?
Because he's on his 2nd term already.
At some point in time, we will make sure we go through, Zanny, and define all those terms.
But you will be undermining the spirit of that amendment, even if you find some way.
We'll figure it out.
If the American people, with the mechanisms we have, put Trump back in office, are the American people tearing up the Constitution? Would that be tearing up?
Well,
would the American people be going against the spirit of the Constitution, ma'am?
I think yes.
Yeah.
Actually, because I think
I mean, if the rules say one thing and all the people agree that that one thing is not what the Constitution should say, that is going against the spirit of the Constitution, unless they vote to have it changed. But and I've heard some people make the argument, oh, Trump could run for a 3rd term because it just says you can only run for 2 consecutive terms. So because his terms weren't consecutive, he gets another go at it, or whatever. I don't know. I feel like this feels like Steve Bannon's lost his mind a little bit too. I haven't followed Steve Bannon ever in my life. I've heard all the scariest and most wonderful things about him from the left and the right, so I don't really know what to make of him or where to put him, what box to put him in as far as trustworthy or not. But this seems like just either bait or complete cult following bullshit. Any thoughts?
Yeah, I think I got a little bit of distrust for Steve Bannon, even though he, like other people that I don't have a lot of trust for, says some cool shit from time to time. He's obviously a brilliant guy. So, and he seems like he's a good talker, right?
Yeah.
So, but we'll take that. This is one of those things that, like, I don't know. Like, I think that his appeal to democracy at the end of it was weird. Like, oh, if just the majority wants it, then it should be the way. Like, that's kind of a faulty argument for anything. But I also understand the arbitrary nature of 2 4-year terms for a president. Like, well, what about 3? What about 3 that would make it totally evil? Or
I can see the argument. It just seems a little stupid to be arguing that for Donald Trump, who is bragging about his cognizance tests.
Yeah.
Like, yes, he is the best you guys have had in branding so far. He's certainly crushed in the branding department, and he is a force to be reckoned with. But I don't know that he would, like, I think that Donald Trump, by the end of his term, this go around, is still going to be better mentally than Joe Biden was at the end of his term. I can't say that I feel like that would certainly be the case with another 4 years of Donald Trump.
If Donald Trump is lucky, because I don't know if, like, can't look into his soul, but if he's lucky enough to be surrounded by people that love him and will care for him, then, they'll pull him out and not have him do those things, and he won't be like Joe Biden, where people were just like propping up a corpse, or like Dianne Feinstein or Stan Lee. Like, once you're a commodity like that and you can like crank out cash, or like anything that's as good as cash, political influence and favor, whatever power, then like they will just like use you until the wheels fall off. So like, I mean,
So that's
yeah,
what they're
Donald
going to
Trump
do,
should
because
be-
he's definitely a cash cow
there will be
forever and
people-
always.
the biggest one ever created. So
Mhm.
yeah, I would say that somebody like Steve Bannon, as he said in that video, I'm paraphrasing, but he's just like an avatar. Like he does these things and he's not particularly good at this and XYZ. He's not particularly religious, but we're going to use him for these things.
Sure.
And that it would work again. Like you would get 4 years more political power and control for more if you could use Donald Trump for that. So
Yeah.
I'm not surprised he said that.
To me, it feels like Steve Bannon trying to create an outrage, trying to gin up a conspiracy theory, kind of like it seems like the project or whatever 2025, whatever that whole dumb boogeyman was that the Democrats used for the entire campaign. It feels like Steve Bannon is at best like trying to poke them and poke the bear and be like, no, we're actually going to implement these things. We're going to do it. Maybe he's serious. I don't know. I don't care. But if it were to happen, it would be exciting times to say the least. I wouldn't vote for him I wouldn't vote for him this go round as I did last time for the first time. I would not vote for him if he ran again at this point, unless something incredible like parting of the seas happened within the next 3 years. I would not be voting for Donald Trump. But the beautiful thing would be to watch how the Democrats just shit their pants if Donald Trump actually figured out a loophole and a way to rig the system and run for a third term. And if you are one of those Democrats who found yourself shitting your pants at this idea, you should try sheath underwear, my friends. Sheath underwear. Do yourselves a favor and elevate your daily comfort with sheath underwear. The innovative dual pouch design provides unparalleled support and separation, ensuring each part of your man parts has the space it deserves. It might not be much space, but it'll be the space it deserves.
That's right. Experience the sophistication and design that respects your anatomy. The moisture-wicking technology sets a new standard in comfort. The advanced system not only keeps you cool, also prevents chafing and swamp balls, making every movement feel effortless, dudes.
So go to sheathunderwear.com and use the promo code SYSTEM at checkout. Experience the perfect blend of comfort and functionality with Sheath. Again, that's sheathunderwear.com. Use the promo code SYSTEM. And if you need your escape from Donald Trump's third term, you should try Mycadelics. Connect with nature's wisdom through Mycadelics Mushroom Grow Bags by Tyson 2.0 and Shroom. Now you can cultivate your own sacred mushrooms at home.
Dudes, the all-in-one kits guide you on this transformative journey. All you have to do is add the liquid culture, witness the miracle of growth. The advanced filter technology preserves purity, allowing multiple harvests in 4 to 6 weeks.
So go to advancedmycode.com and use promo code SYSTEM to save $5 at checkout. Embrace mindfulness and spiritual nourishment. Begin your mushroom journey with Mycadelics Grow Bags today.
Must be 21 or older. May experience psychedelic effects.
And finally, Perfect Spiral. Are you tired of the corporate banking cartel and state-rigged markets stealing your wealth? Well, break free from Perfect Spiral. No, break free with Perfect Spiral Capital. They'll help you build riches on your terms outside of their grip.
That's right. Invest like a dissident. Ditch the system. Own your future. No handouts, no bailouts, just real results.
The system is rigged, and inflation is eating your savings. Opt out now and stack real assets with Perfect Spiral. Build wealth that lasts.
Perfect Spiral Capital. No bullshit, no red tape, just smart strategies for serious people who crave freedom and financial sovereignty, damn it.
That's right. So join the rebellion at perfectspiralcapital.com/system. I should leave that up while I'm saying the thing that it literally says there. perfectspiralcapital.com/system. Do that. And we are back now. We got to talk about, well, I had a few things. We're going to let those things go because we're getting long-winded already for all the things we got to get to. Let's go ahead and stop bearing the lead and talk about this debate between Dave Smith and Steven Crowder and a little bit of backstory for anybody that's not obsessed with Twitter and the internet. There was a spat between Steven Crowder and Dave Smith leading up to this that I think we addressed on a recent episode. I don't remember. But Steven Crowder said something about Dave Smith not coming on the show, basically called Dave Smith a coward. This is all paraphrasing. Called Dave Smith out for not coming on the show, and Dave Smith clapped back with, I tried to come on the show. I told you I'd come on the show anytime you name the time and the place, and I'll be there. I will come on the show. And then about a week later, or 2 weeks later, whatever, now here, a couple days ago, the prophecy is now upon us, and Dave Smith has gone on Steven Crowder's show. Dave, did you happen to catch this debate between the probably definitely theater kid Hollywood nerd that tried to be a comedian and ended up being a political commentator and still tries to be a comedian in his off hours, Steven Crowder, versus the failed comedian Dave Smith? Did you catch this debate, Dave?
Yeah, I listened to it. Yeah, good call on that.
It was fun. I gotta say, before we discussed this, that the news of the week was probably that Nick Fuentes went on Tucker Carlson's show. That seems to be what everybody else is talking about. That seems to be what everybody else is into. And I just noticed that nobody else is really talking about this debate. And this debate actually interested me more than the other one. I don't know why. I don't know. I still have yet to watch. I am not a mug clubber.
You were a mug. You love that mug.
I was not a mug clubber, but I did watch Steven Crowder back in the day. So it is nice to, and I do still watch him from time to time when he's talked about things. Like, I do like his man on the street stuff. I like his change my mind stuff. I like his black on white conversations, like controversial stuff. I enjoy that. I think he does a good job at a lot of things. I think that when it comes to certain topics like neoconism and war and who's controlling what around here, he doesn't seem to really want to take smart stances on things. I don't know. I just think, well, I wanted to bring this debate up because it seemed like nobody else was talking about it. Everybody's talking about the Nick Fuentes, Tucker Carlson thing. We'll talk about that a little bit, but Fed on Fed violence, they can do what they want. And I think that Dave Smith and Steven Crowder are there's certainly a lesser controversy in their debate and their spat, but it intrigued me more. So I've got just a couple clips from this that I thought were worth a share. And yeah, I mean, you probably know where I land on who won this debate. Dave Smith absolutely nuked and annihilated Steven Crowder, as the headline would say. Because I've just given up on just being a decent human anymore. I'm just going for the clickbait. There was nothing in the news this week except for this and Nick Fuentes, and we had to make it sound very exciting. Nukes was the main topic of conversation, though, so, it all makes sense if you think about it. Here is, 40 to 50 minute debate here, and this first part is just where it starts to get spicy. Steven Crowder's like cutting off Dave Smith. This is not the right clip. Because that's not even at the beginning. We're doing great. That is the same clip as that one. So let's go back over here. Dave, give any thoughts that you have while I find the actual first clip that I wanted to bring up.
Well, you kind of hit my main thought when you called him out on his Hollywood tendencies. But my main takeaway, because there wasn't, just kind of like little bickering, and he definitely talked over Dave quite a bit. But this was the first time that Dave was in a debate, I think, where somebody tried to out comedy him. Like, are you you're trying to be funny? Like, can we just have this debate? Like, do you need to get all these jokes in? Like, oh, comic Dave Smith, I'll show him comic. Come on this show. We tell jokes around here.
Yeah.
That's it. Just had that vibe.
It's also funny because, Steven Crowder's had, a revolving door of hosts, like comedian guest hosts or co-hosts or whatever that have come and then left. And then once their NDA was up, they were like, oh, that guy's a fucking dick. And then there's just been a lot of shady stuff around Steven Crowder. But, again, I still like some of his takes on things. But, here's some of the main pettiness. And I will say that this entire debate was about Iran. It was about war, but it was mostly about Iran and Iran's nuclear blah 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 that Donald Trump struck and all that stuff. It seemed very, I don't know. It wasn't that eventful, but I'm going to see if I can find the first.
What we could do at that point was just to make it very clear that if you do get us into another catastrophic war here, you're going to lose a huge portion of your support. This is the only incentive that politicians respond to.
Okay.
Now, in terms of your point about me
Can
saying
I address
that?
that?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
So, and I know that you and I think we both share a fundamental hatred of mischaracterizations. Hopefully, you don't think that I've done that here. I've asked these questions fairly. I think that's a mischaracterization, and I think it was at large of Donald Trump from you. I think to say that he should be impeached based on a betrayal when we probably don't have a president with a more clear track record on any issue than Donald Trump on Iran. If I said Israel, I meant to say Iran, where he said they can't get nukes. That famous escalator ride down, immediately said, and if I'm president, Iran won't get nukes. And before that, on X, saying Iran cannot get a nuke, 60 days talking, negotiating. They weren't playing ball. Time is up. You can disagree with it. But to suggest that that's a betrayal, I would say that's the exact opposite. People maybe need to do the research on the candidate who they're supporting, in your case, endorsing, electing. He was very consistent about that.
No, I disagree completely. And I think that Donald Trump also bragged about not getting us in any new wars and bragged about ending wars, many of which he didn't end. But no, I mean, look, there's a major difference between just saying Iran won't get nukes, which could mean anything, and saying I will launch a war against Iran if they enrich up to 60% and are still willing to negotiate down the enrichment. I'm sorry, those are just very different things.
Well, you called for his impeachment before he launched the strike, and we're not at war. But Dave, you've been talking. Hold on a second.
Man.
You always do this where you say,
filibustering.
let me finish a sentence, but then you address a point and then scattershot 5 different points. You called for this before.
I'm on the exact point that you just asked me about, Stephen. You're claiming I'm filibustering. You're interrupting every time I speak.
No, I'm not, Dave. I want to address that one point, and then we'll go back.
No, I'm not.
We're not at war. You called for his impeachment before the strike. I do think if you're talking about, what other option outside of diplomacy, because you said there are many other options.
I like that Dave pointed out the statement, you always do this, Dave. It's like, what are you talking about? What do you mean I always do this? You've never had me on before now. This is the first time we're speaking. We're only 14 minutes into this conversation in total. What do you mean I always do this? I mean, you stayed up all night scouring through all of my debates, watching everything and studying my mannerisms to make sure that you had a dunk on me. You always do this. Well, what Steven Crowder always does is cuss people off, it turns out.
It could mean anything. Donald Trump, again, in context, if you look at the context, said it was a huge failure, Barack Obama's policy on Iran. He said that you cannot set red lines that you do not enforce, and I will enforce my red lines. Donald Trump was very clear. He set a red line, 60 days are up, so we've tried the diplomacy. Well, what other mechanisms are in place to prevent it?
Yeah, okay, well, I don't think, I mean, again, if you're saying that enriching up to 60% was the big problem, then the JCPOA wasn't a failure. They weren't enriching anywhere near to that level until Donald Trump tore up the agreement, excuse me, or walked away, pulled America out of the agreement. And yes, he arbitrarily set a timeline of 60 days, but there were meetings scheduled for the next day or 2 days later when Israel first struck them and Donald Trump walked away. So the alternative was obviously to keep negotiating. Look, Iran was there to negotiate down the 60% enrichment. They had been down to 3 to 5% when America was good standing members of the JCPOA. The obvious alternative would have been to keep negotiating.
So you believe that it's a more effective form of world leadership in an impeachable offense to set a date, a timeline, say last call. I've counted to 3, count to 3, and then say I didn't mean it?
No, I'm saying.
But that would be what he would do effectively, right?
Yes.
Yeah. I think that's silly for a president to do that.
Right. But that's not what I said. But you think what you said is silly. Okay. But what I'm saying.
No, he did say, we're 60 days up. Was Iran negotiating? Did Iran come to the negotiating table? Did Iran allow inspections?
Just finish whenever you want to, and then I'll try to.
I asked you that. Were the 60 days up? Did Donald Trump count to 3?
Yep.
So he should continue negotiating after he sets a red line.
Yeah, well, he would. Well, no, Stephen. It's a little bit more. It's a little bit more than 1 cent.
Okay.
It's a little bit more than 1 centimeter deep. Okay.
Please enlighten me as shallow as I am.
Dude, it's like you just.
I know. Go ahead.
No, just a lot of people told me that, watch out, he's going to be constantly interrupting you, but I didn't realize it was actually going to be like this. Okay, so Donald Trump, what happened was Donald Trump had signaled at the...
All right, whatever. Then they go on to talk about Iran. I mean, I'm here more to talk about the body language of that interaction there. And Well, Steven Crowder, one thing that he is very good at, which is a skill that I commend him for when he is like on college campuses and he is debating people, he does have a way of cutting people off politely, and most people fall for it, or they get steamrolled by it, or they fall into that trap. Dave Smith did not fall for it, because you can see there, if you go back and watch it a few times, like Steven Crowder's like, yeah, but you would think this, and that would be stupid, and then this, and then that, and it just keeps piling on to it. The very thing that he's claiming that Dave Smith does, he's like, well, I need to cut you off because you just get on rabbit trails and you just spout out a bunch of things, and I got to respond to all of them. But that's what he is doing this entire time, is just like, oh, well, what about this? And what about that? What about that? And he brings up early on in the debate that Dave Smith has said, Dave Smith, who allegedly voted for Donald Trump or whatever, supported Donald Trump this last go around, he said, well, you said that Donald Trump is guilty of war crimes, should be impeached, and should be buried under the prison or whatever. Things that Dave Smith has said for many years about many politicians that are war criminals. And Dave Smith, God bless him, did not back down on any of those statements. He said, yes, they're all war criminals, and they should all be treated as war criminals at the end of the day. But Steven Crowder uses this to continually, if you watch the entirety of the debate, and I recommend you do, he continually goes back to, at the end of everything, like, no matter what the point is that was made, it gets back to, and that's why I wouldn't have said Donald Trump should be, assassinated or impeached or whatever, buried beneath the. It's like, yeah, okay, so Dave Smith said that one thing once, and now that is your bludgeoning tool for your period on the end of every sentence. Like, oh, and also, no matter what I just said, I remembered, you don't like Donald Trump, do you? You said some really bad things about Donald Trump. Explain that. It's gross. And Steven Crowder, it's gross, but he does it well. And he does it well in a way that is it can be disarming, and it can be used for good. Here it's being used to try and get a dunk in a debate against a guy who is not only clearly infinitely smarter and not only smarter, but much better of a comedian, much funnier, and a more honest person, it seems, than Steven Crowder is. I've rambled for a bit. Dave, any thoughts?
Yeah, man. Yeah, at worst, no. At best, Steven Crowder probably sees Dave Smith and that kind of element of the right and views maybe him like competition. And I'm going to try and just use this. That's why he hung on the Iran thing for so long, and
almost a whole debate.
Right, because he was trying to prove that there's no room for this guy in MAGA.
Yeah.
Like that was he was trying to make that point across. And in fact, Dave called him out that one time. Oh, well, you agree with Obama here, and I agree with Trump. So
that's
obviously,
the next clip. Yeah.
Right. So at best, he is just trying to, take Dave out of the game. At worst, he's in the $7,000 club, and you're just kind of, doing.
Well, our
defense.
friend Clint Russell on his recent episode was talking about how Steven Crowder went after Candace Owens and tried to say that Candace Owens was saying, well, Steven Crowder was trying to say that Candace Owens was saying that Charlie Kirk's widow and Donald Trump were both involved in the assassination of Charlie Kirk. That's the abridged version. And Clint Russell was saying, hey, Steven, you had the information about what was written on the shell casing of the alleged shooter long before anybody else did, long before the press did. But where did you get that information? Should we be questioning Steven Crowder's motives and why he is on the attack against people like Candace Owens, Dave Smith, and people who are bringing up the Charlie Kirk? I wish we had gotten more of that conversation. I wish that Dave Smith had brought up like the Candace Owens stuff or the Charlie Kirk stuff or something. I wish somebody had changed the subject for 1 second beyond Iran, because currently, who gives a shit? Like Iran, yes, there's nothing currently happening in Iran, so that's not really the debate of choice for the current zeitgeist. Could we possibly get another conversation? But instead, fast forwarding 40 minutes into this debate, the next clip that I want to share, we're still talking about the percentage of enrichment in Iran and blah, 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 blah. And here's the part that you mentioned, Dave, where he brings up Obama and pretends that he's not using leftist tactics.
Honestly, the JCPOA had a lot of flaws, mostly the sunset provisions. And I think it would have been totally reasonable and good for Donald Trump to get in there and even say, we're tearing this up and or making a new deal, or we're fixing these sunset provisions. But the truth is that all you guys who are find it so aggressive that Iran was enriching up to 60%, they weren't until we pulled out of the JCPOA. That's a fact.
Yeah. They've been consistently enriching. But I do think, look, I don't want to go around in circles on this, is you agree with Barack Obama's approach to...
I don't want to go around in circles on this. 40 minutes in, same topic as we brought up 10 minutes in. But yeah, don't want to go around in circles.
Enriching. But I do think, look, I don't want to go around in circles on this, is you agree with Barack Obama's approach to Iran. I agree with Donald Trump's. Maybe that explains why you would want to impeach Trump.
Yeah, I just find that to be like, yes, okay.
But that was his approach.
Such a bitch move.
Right. If we just put a bow in this whole debate, it's pretty much that, like, you're Barack Obama and I'm like Donald Trump. That's pretty much what I would say.
Yeah, and then you'll watch when Dave Smith calls him on it, and he's like, "You're trying to like lump me in with Obama because I agreed with one thing that Obama did and chastised everything else that Obama did, criticized." And then, of course, Steven Crowder didn't say that, so it's no, I didn't say that. I didn't say that. No. It's such petty bitch bullshit.
Who'd you support in 2016, Steve, in the primary? Who were you for? Rubio?
Actually, in the primary, to egg on my face, I was pro Carly Fiorina just because I loved watching her sandbag debates.
No, I just love how everyone...
And Donald Trump, hold on a second. And Donald Trump was a Democrat, and then I supported him in the general election. I've supported him since. But I'm saying you right now are supporting, correct me if I'm wrong, Barack Obama's approach to Iran, which Donald Trump opposed in his campaign, and you oppose Donald Trump. So that's, I mean, it is kind of a binary choice, right? Donald Trump campaigned on that.
I mean, it's really not.
Okay.
And yes, I think
go fuck yourself.
Barack Obama's foreign policy was horrible. Over maybe the only thing he did good was getting the JCPOA done. So yes, in this very specific example, I do think that Obama did a better job with Iran than Donald Trump did. Okay. That is not true for the countries that like Iraq, Afghanistan, Libya, Syria, Somalia, Yemen. Obama was horrible. But I do think the deal was better off than not. I think that it's kind of a cheap thing on a conservative show to go, well, you're with Obama rather than Trump.
I didn't say that.
The most critical thing. I am the most critical of Obama of probably any commentator.
I didn't say that.
Sure. Okay.
I don't. Well, you might be critical.
You kind of framed it that way.
Okay. Barack Obama.
Shut up. I didn't. I didn't say that. You got my words wrong. Like, just.
He definitely said that.
He didn't technically say that. What he did say was just so obviously like MSNBC, CNN tactics of like, so you believe this? That means you agree with so and so. Like, he's not saying that you agree with so-and-so on everything, but he knows that saying you agree with Obama on this and I agree with Trump on this, that's enough for the person who hears the soundbite on the internet to be like, oh, Obama supporter versus Trump supporter. That's all I need to know, and good to go. Now, Dave Smith does a magnificent job of continuing to destroy this theory and this just smarmy debate tactic that, again, as a propagandist, I commend him for his manipulation strategies, but I commend Dave Smith a lot more for using his Jew magic for good to dispel Steven Crowder's Hollywood spells.
His approach, JCPOA working well. What Donald Trump said, the Iran nuclear deal is a disaster, one of the worst ever, and I would pull out, and he did. By the way, Iran didn't enrich past 20% until Biden, right? So you have Barack Obama's approach, Donald Trump specifically criticizing it, campaigning on doing the opposite. And I didn't say you support Obama. I said it seems like in dealing with Iran, you would agree with Obama's approach and disagree with Donald Trump. Is that a mischaracterization?
I agree with I agree with Pat Buchanan and Ron Paul and all of the tradition of the right-wingers who were smeared as unpatriotic by David Frum. I agree with Lou Rockwell and Ron Paul and Murray Rothbard and Pat Buchanan and the founders of our country. I take the George Washington foreign policy. So yes, in this case, when Donald Trump said the Iran deal was the worst deal ever, I think it was really stupid. It actually wasn't. And what you should have been appalled by of Obama's foreign policy